That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private, Hardy Boys. You're not cops here. Don't go...
Good. We are all watching each other.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or...
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be any...
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
Please, do.
It's not her. She's not a Hardy girl. Definitely.
What you want is of no significance, officer.
Can I help you?
The door is still the lieutenant. He doesn't like... all those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone...
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes,
This is the night watchman.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
you might have noticed there's...
Oh my. Don't take this question
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting... But of course, all joking aside, Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's the big impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss. See you...
body continues to betray your degeneracy. What is this?
Merely standing up makes
Stop it! You are embarrassed. This display.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his
That is precisely. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it. Yeah,
he means alcohol.
I doubt it. My microcephalic race servant. Your mouse moves. Occidental haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich ray begging for help. You gave the world eugenics, electricité. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Himians and the inexplicable. You will be super.
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Enough with this begging. Bring your troops to the Simen. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls. So it was. You surmount.
You're so no.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. But
This is the uncomfortable result.
listen to your little friend, babe. See that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Cool. I like men with guns and power.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where—
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today. Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a union.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. Racists are generally not very good. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw F. Your silence betrays your inferiority.
You missed a good show before.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good!
By the way, Kipt is a racial slur.
Watch out, Kuno!
Kuno knows which Kipt Kuno meant. Kuno knows all the Kipt. Kuno's dad doesn't get.
Try to crawl out of
Yeah? The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down? Kuno does.
corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood barn.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim.
The RCM's fourth...
The fuck are they on?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Muindi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single. Et puis, you must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and... That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open above those. An 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there.
KK57.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date, 0803, and time of arrival, 0815, on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
Next, NA. Next, NA. Roughly...
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Muindi. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and...
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by... is...
KK57 0503 0815. List...
None. At least not after the initial examination. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for...
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of... Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosenkrantz Row. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair. Her silhouette... The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are... And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GR...
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine.
See?
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity? Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. Still wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark.
See? My pig is gonna
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep. A really, really bad smell is coming from there now. And a really, really bad
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck that faggoty.
Told you my pig.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He sinks the cutters into the knot. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower.
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant.
No!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood.
The back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to...
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active.
We have a real museum here. Last item. Hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. Maybe I'm just not seeing them.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been...
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous...
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury-related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's...
Yeah, Jack!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the... It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back. Inside, you see darkness. Just...
There are ancient mysteries.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. Na. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. Same for toxicology and serology. Na. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Oh, so we inflicted them? Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition and an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention those. Better not to muddy the waters. Injuries. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury. So, the scalp bleed
At maximum velocity, fucker!
has confessed to causing it at max.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuna. He is silent with it. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath.
Right. Next. Nothing. Just in case. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that we were thorough with the list of injuries.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg. For processing.
He's thinking, I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's...
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away. Oh yeah, it's all right. In the pot. I'm a joke. Look at a killer. Go ahead, Kobo. Because you're a copperoony. Coming right up. Copperoony. Laughed at me in Provocopo. Sure, Lobo. Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. I am all you have. Then you truly lost it all, brother. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in...
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more. His fingernails have turned dark.
Do you think we may...
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrated. If you want for this task to slowly become impossible, then yes. Otherwise, no. He's been hanging out far too long already. We need to ice him. It would have to be...
Fuck are you looking at being...
Only if all else fails.
Kuno looks like he gets around. Knows Martinez. And its fridges too, probably.
Hurry. This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Cop.
Can I help you? Yes, yes. For the dead body. Because you haven't taken it away yet, and it must be stinking hard about now. Well, you're not putting it here, rest assured. This is a culinary establishment, not a...
It would only be...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too?
Let's go talk to the frit clerk.
Is this about the questions again? 'Cause a warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She scrunches up her face.
Fine. Right behind you. Yeah. You're joking, right? Okay.
Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for...
Okay.
Does Kuno care? For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing. Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
By killing in his territory, someone has openly challenged Kuno. It's in his best interest. A dark flame smolders in Kuno's eyes as he ponders your argument. Wordless, like kings do.
Alright, Kuno hears you. See that shit house?
A cold comes over you as you glance behind him at the crumbling colossus.
You gotta get in that shit. In there, deep. Through the bookstore. You gotta beg the book bitch. Used to be you could get in there through the doorbell, jam that shit. Yeah, book bitch, beggar.
He means the bookstore. We have to ask... Plaisance.
Impressive note-keeping.
See, the clod gets it. Listen to your four-eyed friend. Check the fucking basement, pig. There's a giant fridge down there. Fucking will fit, no problem.
A white bear? A polar bear?
You didn't hear it from Kuno, pig.
Kuno owns you now, pig. You're Kuno's property.
Kuno doesn't...
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime the Fridge. No, I don't know anything about...
For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same...
Oh, crime, Robert, you're a police officer.
Shelves, crime fic. These books, what's more, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. You see, Dick Mullen, a killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. Yes, Tragedy calls for after all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is... Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar, a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic, Hard. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Then this is the book for you. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. This button looks new.
Huh. This button looks new.
An off-key melody.
Kudos! Please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer, but the doorbell is broken and the bookstore shouldn't...
A single beep indicates that you ring the door. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair. All you hear is static, but no, you ring the doorbell. You wait for a minute or two, but looks like someone has melted half the plastic. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It's...
Yes, hello.
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly. The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you.
It's a woman. And she... No. Something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to...
A spot of static overrides.
It's so nice to be able to find it.
She sounds like the cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away, somewhere inside the building. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes by.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards. No, hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteria. Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. Silence. No one answers your call. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Yes, me.
She doesn't really want to be... Is she such a working class?
This was a tremendously...
You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones. This is a traditional Seminese ward. Inhabitants of, aside from poking it, you see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture.
I warned you. You're unleashing force.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. Only an echo. Only an echo. No one is there. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you? What is this place? I think you're right, though it looks like I doubt the electricity still works.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest. The lieutenant. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and a metallic drawer slides out from under. It's robust, lets you see things in the bribe, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The pull-out toolbox. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers. A barbell lies at 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum. There are no collars on the... Why does it feel so familiar?
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. No one does until they get smashed under the barbell.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber. It's just a memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Right.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flashlight.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube shape.
A radio computer. Just sitting here, but we are looking for...
On the other hand, it's not the time not interested in abandoned radio computers.
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. That it's empty like a beehive. The filament you have would fit perfect like a smooth drawer. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the bar of fabric, right, the static gets louder, slowly.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en route. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader, that was a question. Good.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for...
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you... No.
A hint system is not...
Still no. Received. I will...
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? Fortress accident is the company on whose name the terminal you're talking. One moment. Fortress accident SCA produces...
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I...
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater. As for me, well...
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman. Doesn't it get lonely? Sitting there all by herself.
Lonely? Why would...
That's why she...
Now, please tell me if there's a... Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Tiles on the cube. Nothing happens. Your flashlight slides over some of the writing. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. You make out autumnal candle Welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mother. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin. His face, the Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them purged.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political comment. Just look at the...
And for what? Or the photo collage depicts barren, icy landscape. Entire ocean. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, albeit dark and cold. A pinned postcard reads, "This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like everyone is constantly teetering on the edge of the abyss. An abyss minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called... As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out three... Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this was someone the leader of a massive a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that whoever decides to all of this is gone. There's no way.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious the schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate. Then there's the Game Master Frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little...
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games, but I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have... Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a...
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to...
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.
You see, a terrifying eye. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
It's certainly an eccentric choice.
But the optics on this are awful. He thinks your visual confirms. You could fit.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the bed. Then 10 more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your...
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. This story does not leave this room. Did we though? At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped. Where you pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Shoot, Looney. I like it a lot, brother. This really... Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori.
Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's... His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips, like a rubber spider, your gloved hand. The oral cavity is cold and moist. You're on the right track. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery. Can you feel it? You're so close. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands, and you see a hole barely visible to the human eye. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
A black trickle of liquid runs into your index, fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. Yes, that's what this part is called. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart. This man will never sleep again. Never. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The lieutenant answers with the sound of your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex